Let me focus my attention in this movie on creating Shockwave content with Director. Director Movies can use the internet in various ways. You can use Director to host multi-user sessions such as chats and games. You can use Director for streaming movies and sounds, retrieving data from the network, or interacting with the browser. Whether it's distributed on disk or downloaded from the internet, a Director movie can use an active network connection to retrieve linked files, send information, open web pages, and perform many other network activities. You'll publish your Director work as a Shockwave DCR movie. Here in the Publish Settings dialog, you'll access this by choosing File, Publish Settings, and then there is a option here for Shockwave file, DCR. Use this setting and then publish your file if you want to play back your Director files in a Shockwave-enabled web browser, or to make disk-based movies smaller using Shockwave content. Also prevents your users from editing the movie if they own Director. To make a movie appear in a user's browser, simply publish it again as a Shockwave content and then embed it in an HTML document. If you choose HTML right there as an option, Director will create the HTML for you and then add this embed tag. It'll add actually several embed tags, one for the Internet Explorer browsers and one for the Netscape-based browsers, such as Firefox and I think Safari as well. Then the movie can play from a local disk or an internet server. When the user opens the HTML document stored on an internet server, the movie often begins streaming to the user's system and begins playing when either a specified number of frames has been downloaded or waits until all the movie is downloaded to the local disk. Much more about this concept of streaming Director movies in my next movie. You can also distribute a movie over the internet as a projector. Notice you have both Windows projector and Macintosh projector options here. Projectors, as I mentioned previously, are packaged movies that the user downloads and then executes. A projector plays as a standalone application, not in a browser, and also does not require the user to download the Shockwave player. If the Shockwave content that you're creating will be distributed on the internet and requires any extra extensions, make sure the extra extensions are listed in the Movie Extras dialog box, and that Download if needed is selected for each required extra extension. More about this topic of extra extensions a bit later in this section of the tutorial. Whichever publishing method you decide to use, when you do author a Director movie, consider how the movie is to be distributed and played on the user's systems. If the movie streams from an internet source, you might need to modify the movie for the best streaming performance and use the behaviors that I covered earlier in the tutorial that are built into Director to make the movie wait while certain cast members download. Controls and LingoScript methods also offer ways to send and retrieve media and other information to interact with the browser, as well as to monitor downloading. Let me now move on to the next movie and talk more about this concept of streaming movies if you want to publish your Director content to the internet.